Hello, and welcome back to Entrepreneur Talks podcast. This is season 4. Thank you for being with us through all the previous seasons, and we're gonna have more fun and inspirational stories for you to hear on season 4. My name is Yola Bastos. I'm one of the co-founders of Women Flix network community. We are focused on empowering and motivating women around the world to achieve their dreams. We mainly support them through coaching, business strategies, and workshops. Our aim is to build connections that will increase the power of women in collaboration and be able to create space for growth and expand our knowledge. Find more about Women Flix through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can find us always by Women Flix. I also want to say welcome to my guests on this new season. And I hope for my listeners to enjoy every episode and get in touch with each of my guests through the information that will be available on each podcast episode description. My guest for today's podcast is JoBeth Evans. She is a life coach, a college instructor, wife, and mother who is finding time to live the life of her dreams while also equipping young women in college to do the same. Let's welcome JoBeth Evans and hear her story and her journey and feel inspired. Hello, JoBeth Evans. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so glad to have you here today with me.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here and to be talking all things entrepreneurship with you.
Fabulous. So before we start, tell me, where are you talking from?
I am from Northwest Arkansas in the United States. I actually live in a small town in Huntsville. And I teach here at the University of Arkansas that is in Fayetteville. I teach public speaking, and I have lived in this little area of the world my entire life.
Oh, wow. And how was the lockdown in your area? Did something change in your life during these times, the latest?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was very, I think we handled it. It was easier for us maybe than other people. We live on several acres and we have a farm. So during that time, we spent a lot more time on the farm, doing a lot more exploring and driving around and enjoying nature than we had in the past. And the shutdown gave us time in our schedules to be able to do that. So I was just really, really thankful that we did have that time, downtime to spend with each other and to spend out in nature. And it's been a really a blessing to us and very healing. We obviously have not been infected with COVID, so it's not had a huge negative impact on us. I understand that many people have, but for our family, it's just been a period of downtime that I think was really needed.
Right. Yes, absolutely. I do agree. And in some way, it was a bless for many people, including me. I'm so grateful. So that means like you had a rest And at the same time, I believe like with your business, you probably end up as well very busy, right?
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, so I was finishing up when this all started, finishing up at the university, finishing that semester. And then obviously the school shut down. So my kids came home, and I was used to spending a lot of time with my kids, but I was used to some breaks. So a day here and a day there to work and without any disruptions, and having them home 24/7 was really, really challenging. So I had planned a really huge month in June to do a lot of marketing and content building. And well, I guess it was May and June actually. They looked really different than what I had planned for them to look like, because not only was I trying to do my job at the university, but my life coaching and homeschooling and being, a 24/7, being there for my kids 24/7. So it was really, really hard, and I didn't make as much progress as I wanted, but I learned during that time that, we have to be flexible, we have to adjust. And when there are times when we're feeling super stretched, we have to take a step back and look at priorities, and sometimes
So
knock some things off the list that were really important to us, but just we don't have time for. So the time period that we've had in quarantine has really opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Yes, totally. And so you say you are a life coach, a college instructor, right? What is a
Yes.
college instructor?
I'm not a professor. I don't have my PhD, but I teach public speaking, which is a freshman level course at the University of Arkansas. And even though it is a freshman level course, I typically have juniors and seniors because they put public speaking off until they graduate, or they're like about to graduate, and like they have no choice. It's either take public speaking or you're not going to graduate. So I have a lot of upperclassmen in the course. And then aside from that, totally separate from the university, I do college success coaching, which is something that a lot of students need. I would say most students need that, especially coming from being under your parents' watch for 18 years, moving into college where you're trying to prove yourself as an adult, but you really need a lot of help. And a lot of times students don't want that help from their parents, but they still need mentorship and support. And so that's where college success coaching comes in, is to help specifically young women really knock it out of the park during this time at the university. And when I taught the high school level, saw so many girls, and I still see them struggling with stress and anxiety and time management, and sometimes even depression. And it's really something that is not a necessary thing to experience in college. And I love helping young ladies navigate college without all the stress and anxiety.
That's a really good thing to do. So you're working inside the university with the young women, entrepreneurs or students, let's say, and it's outside as well. Happens you get some clients from outside, or it's just from the university?
No, I don't do anything with the university. It's all outside.
It's outside.
Yeah, they're totally separate. I do a lot of life coaching with my university students, but it is not paid. It's just me working with them through the university, helping them, with time management and, debunking some lies that they tell themselves about college and their experiences and stuff. But no, the life coaching that I do is separate from the university.
All right. Yes. I'm so sorry. You did mention that. You said at the beginning, is something totally separate. And I just,
yes.
I just imagine all together. I don't know, because you spoke about students, I connected. I'm so sorry, JoBeth. But
no, it's fine.
And did you, so on your, now I don't know if it's in your life coaching business or if it's at school, at university, you got a membership course, right?
Yes. And so the membership, originally we had planned to start that membership in August next month, but we're actually going to be postponing the membership
Oh,
because this time is so different. I think students really need one-on-one right now. I think that's the best way that I can serve students is the one-on-one, because here in the United States, and I think, in many parts of the world, students may or may not be going back to campus. We may have some students that are on campus, some students that are going to school virtually because of the coronavirus. So, we don't know. We don't know what first semester of college is looking like. We don't know what tomorrow looks like.
yeah.
And so students really need that one-on-one. And then as soon as we see that things start to settle and we have a better idea of what college is going to look like, then the membership is going to come in, and the membership is going to allow young ladies to get life coaching at a more affordable cost, but still get a really high quality coaching experience, which is what ideally what I want for all girls in college, is to be able to have access to that no matter their budget.
And that will be one-to-one virtual or really in person?
It will always be virtual.
Oh.
Just because I think that this generation I don't think I know, this
virtual
generation that's in college right now, I mean, they want to do things remotely. They want to be able to travel and do all the things and not have to be face to face with somebody and have that appointment. So it will always be virtual so that they will be able to have that access wherever they are.
Fabulous. Yes, we are living on this virtual century, I think. Right?
Yeah.
And tell me, JoBeth, why did you start this business? What happened for you to create?
When I was 18, you go to high school and everybody's always asking you what you want to be, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, I've always been asked that question, and I never knew the answer. All I knew is that I just wanted to help people, and that's all I really knew that I wanted to do. And so in college, that looked like I got a communication degree, and then I ended up becoming a certified public school teacher. And even though I was helping people, it didn't feel like it was what I was really supposed to be doing. It was paying the bills, and I enjoyed being with my students, but it just wasn't, I guess, my calling. And so I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I see all these things that these young women need. When I was working in the high school and when I'm now working at the university, I see so many things that they need. And I had a student, a specific student that had a full-on panic attack on screen one day, public speaking, because I teach public speaking online. So I am 100% virtual. The university, the class that I teach is online. So I work virtually with those students. But she had a full-on panic attack, and I got to thinking, and I had the same experience in college. I was very stressed out, and honestly, there wasn't any real reason to be stressed out or to have anxiety. And I think that's the interesting thing about anxiety is a lot of times there's there's nothing that causes it. It just kind of hits you out of nowhere. And I had an anxiety attack at the university, and I thought at the time that I was having a heart attack, and it really scared me. And I knew that I had been, back, when I was in college in 2000, this experience was like 2010, 2011, anxiety wasn't talked about like it is now. So even though I knew I was having chest pains, and I knew that I could really feel it in my body, just a lot of tension, headaches. I would clench my fist at night when I was sleeping. And then just constant, almost in a constant state of distress for no reason. My parents would have helped me financially. I was in a good relationship. I had a great job. I had scholarships. I had a good car. I had everything, but the anxiety was so crippling. And so once I started working at the university, I started seeing that more girls are having this problem. And when I say more girls, I'm thinking most of them are having anxiety, and most of them will tell you that. So they've identified it. They know that they have anxiety. And I was like, wow, here's a great opportunity for me to have a great impact on some young women who are really trying. They're really trying to better themselves. They're in college. They're working so hard. And I'm going to step in when they're ready, and I'm going to help them make this the best experience of their life, because it has the full potential to be an incredible experience. But sometimes, like I said, it's crippled by this anxiety. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's the year I gained 20 pounds because I was so stressed out. Or that was the year that my grades, I lost my scholarships because, a lot of times when we're anxious, we do nothing, or we turn on Netflix, or we eat. There's all these ways that we cope with it. And I don't want them to have that experience. And I really felt like this was the opportunity for me to take something that I have experienced and that I know very well, and help as many girls as possible to have the best experience possible.
That's really beautiful. And how long you been doing? How long?
So I've been a certified life coach for 2 years, but I really feel like, even though I didn't have the certification, I've been doing this since about 2012, because I taught at a public high school, and I taught English as a second language. So I was working with students that were coming across the border from Mexico, and they were coming straight to my classroom. So I was working with young men and young women who were experiencing life in the United States for the first time, often without any family members and without knowing English. And so it's really started then, helping these young men and women understand how life works, and how, how we can make the most of really unfortunate and hard circumstances. And so I've been working, I always say my job at the public school was about 90% coaching, life coaching and helping them, and about 10% actual academic content. And just because as a teacher, I felt like it was my job to give them what they needed, not necessarily what the standards were saying they needed to be taught. And sometimes that was, letting one of my immigrant kids sleep through class because he had been out working literally all night.
Right.
It's stuff like that I've been doing for a long time, but being a certified coach, just about 2 years.
Yes, but it is understandable, because these days we still not like, when we are coaches, because I'm a life coach as well, and we start this before we realized we already doing. Because I'm looking back in the days, I'm like, yes, I've been coaching for many years. Because we end up doing this because it's natural. That's why I think most of the coaches, they just naturally coaches. Some people just look for the certifications, and then they become coaches and then start to work. But has to be a natural side of this that makes us to be able to support and help other people before even a certification. And yes, I believe your work still, because it's coming back from the times where where you struggled, and now you don't want these girls go through the same. But it's very challenging, right? Because you still see girls coming to that point, all right?
Yeah. And, sometimes it's way more, I'm not against students and young women getting medicated for their anxiety and their depression. I think there comes a point where there is that chemical imbalance that coaching is not going to fix. And, I think there is a time and place for that, and I don't condemn that. So, it is hard when you see somebody making all the changes and doing all the things, but still feeling like that. And I deal with that myself again. So it's like, I am eating right, I am working out, but oh my gosh, this feeling like this, like brick, it's like hitting a brick wall. And it's just like, it again, is crippling. And it's frustrating when you're doing all the things that you know to do and it still doesn't work. And I think that's hard because, and what I'm seeing with my students in this age group is that they don't want to get on medication. they want to do everything they can before they have to get on medication. So like to see them struggling to do all the right things and to do, do all the things that are helpful, but to still be struggling, that's hard.
Yes. And I believe like coaching should be on the, how I say, in the hospitals, in the clinics, in the doctors. They could advise before giving any medication, because it's really like you said, they don't want to go through the drugs before trying everything else like that. And sometimes they are so weak, they don't have a way apart from the drugs. That's a different level. But it should be very, I believe, and I still think that one day we will be able to work together with the health field. Like we can be called to support people, not just before they give any medicine. I think you should go for a coach, life coach, or more in life coaching, no other sides, because the other ones are different. But a health coach and life coach would be amazing if we could work together with the medical teams and etc. All this field on health field would be really, really good. Because
I agree. And I was really fortunate because when after I had my anxiety attack where I thought I was having a heart attack, I went to the doctor because I swore I'd had a heart attack. So I got an appointment and I went to the doctor, and he was an older man, probably in his late 60s, possibly 70s. And I'm fortunate to live in an area that holistic health is really a priority. And this doctor, he's like, JoBeth, you did not have a heart attack, because I was 21, I think 20 or 21, 20. He said, you're 20, you are healthy. He's like, you didn't have a heart attack, but he's like, I'm going to go ahead. And he ran the test to just make sure that he was right. And he's like, okay, he ran the test. I didn't have a heart attack. And he said, you have got to start eating better, start working out, and find some way to relax. And he said, if you don't, you're going to have to be put on medication. And I was like, I don't want to be on anxiety medication when I'm 20. And I definitely don't want to be on it as a first option. And so he was very wise in redirecting me. And I changed my life that day. Like, because I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. Like I was doing everything that I thought I should do to make it better, but it wasn't eating right, working out, and doing relaxing things. Like that was not the approach I was taking. And so when I started doing that, things turned around really fast, but I was very fortunate from the beginning to have a doctor who did believe in holistic health and getting other things worked out so that I wouldn't have as bad of anxiety as I did.
Yes. That's another great thing that happened to you, but it's so many people that happened the opposite. Like they fixed on drugs straight away. They will prescribe something. They don't want to listen or so. It's just, okay, this one is depression, or this one anxiety. You need to go home and take this, and that's it.
Right.
And this doctor was like very, I normally call them down to earth.
Yeah.
They are real people, and they know that is no medication that is going to take you away before you get to change some things in your life. And that's really powerful. Amazing. And yeah, very good. So you are on your journey, and you carry on doing what you're doing, and I'm sure you're going to be helping so many girls, not from today, but you're going to continue helping a lot of young women in this. So you basically, when I was about to say in this world, but you mostly, your clients are from America, or they are from anywhere in the world?
So far, just in the United States here, but I can coach anybody anywhere as long as we can find a time that works. So anybody who is, and you don't even have to be in college. That's my focus. But I see a lot of young women who are moms, working moms, and it's just hard. And it's going to be hard no matter what, but there are ways that we can approach this hardness in ways that is helpful. And so when it comes to who I will work with, yes, my focus is on college students, but any young woman who finds themselves anxious or depressed or not feeling like they have enough time to do all the things that they need and want to do, like, that is my ideal client that I'm going to be able to make the biggest impact with.
Fabulous. Beautiful. So because of all this, that you can work anywhere in the world and with young women, where people can connect with you and find more about your work, JoBeth?
So I am on LinkedIn, and I'm JoBeth Evans, so you can just search me there. And then College Life Coach JE on Facebook, and then the same, or it's JoBeth Evans Life Coach on Instagram. Oh. So I'm on all the things. JoBeth is a very different name. So usually when you type JoBeth, you'll find all my things. And then on my website is the best place, and that's jobethevans.com.
Thank you so much for letting my listeners know. And I will be putting all these links and details about JoBeth on the description of her podcast when she will be live on my website. Sounds good, JoBeth?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of this opportunity.
Thank you as well for sharing your story and your journey with me. And I love it because you're doing an amazing job and amazing work, not job, because this is something that you love to do, and you're working with young women to empower them. And that's for me is one of the best things, because it's also what we do in my company. And I just love to see more women doing something for these young women and female and males as well, right? We're just not working with females, but at the end of the day, I believe like the men are changed by their attitude, by their change. They get moved. So everything changed. Fantastic. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best. And we keep in touch.
Right? Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. Once again, I want to say thank you for joining us on our podcast episode. We came to the end of this episode, but we will have another episode next week. So don't forget, follow us so you can catch the next one. You take care, and I speak with you next week. Bye.